What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more punk rock, and we're going back to Bad Religion again. Also, this is another request from big friend and champion of the channel, Ryan, and he requested a tune from Recipe for Hate, 1993. I've mentioned it before. In terms of albums not in the 3-album run that I always mention, Suffer No Control Against the Grain, when literally Bad Religion did not put a lyrical or sonic foot wrong, in my opinion. If there's any other album in their catalog which is right there on that same level, if maybe like a quarter step below, I think it's Recipe for Hate. I really do love this album. A couple tunes in particular. The title track is one of my favorite tunes and I think as good as anything on that 3-album run. Skyscraper, also one of my very favorite tunes. So bottom line, I love this album. It's funny because when I recently noticed that Ryan had requested this, he requested it like a week ago and then I didn't see it until a couple days ago. But I was thinking, like, what one is that? I couldn't remember it by the title. It's My Poor Friend Me. And then I remembered the chorus where that phrase is used, and it made me remember that, like, when I was first sort of, listening to their music and trying to come to terms with all the different sort of philosophical and political themes they were talking about, I remember hearing this song and trying to figure if he was talking about himself, like if he was watching himself turn bitter and jaded over time, but instead of reaching out for people who have new ideas and can maybe help you, at least transition into the later phase of your life, not sort of stubbornly holding on to antiquated attitudes and so on, they do just sort of turn inward and get increasingly hostile or even alien toward people. Like they just, they don't trust the outside world and they don't trust other people and everyone's changing things and ultimately they can't sort of come to terms with the passage of time personally or globally, if you will. But I remember thinking, like, is he saying my poor friend me because he's feeling this happen to himself? But there are other lines where, or the verses in particular, where he's saying that's like, so many people just don't want to blame themselves. They want to find any other scapegoat, any other explanation for why things aren't going their way or why it feels like the world is hostile toward them and so on. And they never kind of turn that mirror on themselves. So it feels like the narrator is either sort of like, kind of on both sides of his mind. He knows what's happening and he's sort of like trying to like remember that he can't become ossified or stagnant and he should maybe understand that part of why he's feeling this way is because of his own sort of stubbornness or obduracy. But I actually think after more listens, or I came to think that he is talking about a type of person, maybe not like a specific old man, holed up in his house and just, doesn't even want to see his family because he's just a cantankerous old person who hates the world. But it seems like it's more a general that like a lot of people end up like this because they just can't come to grips with the fact that maybe they're not right about everything. Maybe, they have to actually reevaluate what they're doing or listen to what some younger person is saying and maybe recognize that, hey, maybe the way we did things over time isn't always perfect and maybe I should be at least willing to listen to others and also to, recognize the humanity in other people and try to still have a laugh and like, fun experiences that don't have to be riddled with like paranoia and suspicion and bitterness and so on. So yeah, I feel like the song could be taken either way in terms of it's like someone thinking about this happening to themselves and maybe a part of their brain trying to like drag the stubborn part of them to be a better person, but maybe it's also just someone saying, hey, I notice a lot of people around here who just like as they get older, they just get increasingly less willing to engage with others, to sort of see the wisdom or even humanity in others. So in any case, let me know if you have a different view, as I always say in all reactions, but especially punk rock ones where I tend to talk a lot. Hence the name Captain Elaborate. Shout out to Ryan once again. That yeah, my interpretations are never definitive or authoritative. It's just, this is what I thought about the tune. So let me know if you have a different view on it. Regardless, let's get it. This is Bad Religion, My Poor Friend Me, and it's from the 1993 album Recipe for Hate. I love that.
Trouble never ends. I know it's hard for him to redeem the lines, and his days are getting so much shorter. crawled on underneath it.
Poetry, that line.
Lately I've come to see the solution, and it begins with me. But I'm so fallibly human, I pick the lock but will not turn the key. Yeah. People running scared, we live, breathe, and die. All too aware that time is slipping on by. We have solutions, but don't even try. And I feel I know just who to blame. It's my poverty, a reminder of a tragic history. Tragic history. It's my poverty, and I'm running out of steam.
The oohs and ahs of this one. Yeah, that's even better than I remembered it. Again, it's such a funny thing doing these reactions. You listen to tunes for decades and you hear them hundreds of times, maybe, 4-digit numbers of times. And ultimately, you do this. You sit down, you force yourself to sort of think about it in the moment, to kind of really key in on different sonic elements, and to then articulate what you're experiencing, what you're feeling in verbal format. And it's like, wow, I actually come to a new appreciation of this tune. Or in some cases, it's like, wow, I never really keyed in on that element, but that's a big part of the track. So yet another example where a tune hits me more profoundly and more powerfully than I was even remembering going into it, even knowing the tune for many years. So yeah, big ups to Bad Religion, big ups to Ryan for suggesting it, big ups to all the people who've commented on the Bad Religion videos, including recently Kim. I always appreciate when people find different avenues of my channel, different sort of sonic subgenres, and yeah, it made me very happy when you started commenting on the Bad Religion reactions. So yeah, we'll come back to this album. I know that I've done a few. I think I did, again, the title track. I think I did American Jesus. But I don't think I've done too many others. I do believe Ryan's least favorite Bad Religion tune is on this album. I believe it's Kerosene. So, it's not my absolute favorite, but I certainly don't dislike it. So I'd be interested at some point, Ryan. I'm going to react to it, and I would like you to let me know why, for what reason it has become a disfavored tune for you. Nevertheless, yeah, it'd be interesting to go through the rest of the album. Ultimately, I'm trying to remember, I think the one that I've hit the least is the most recent one, Age of Unreason. I might have only just done the title, or not the title tune, the opening tune. So yeah, I am going to jump around a little bit, but we'll keep coming back to this one, and maybe Generator, which is another one where I feel like it's maybe not on the level of that 3-album run, but it's not too far away from it either. So yeah, let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.